Hello everyone, welcome to technically episode 4 of Mr. Frox. I'm coming here to tell you folks about one of my many planets. This one is named Dustaria, and today we're going to explore a part of the PE, or post-establishment. There are a fair few islands and one massive continent in the middle of this planet. This is during 0 to 100 million years, and there are two primary oceans, the Pacific Tree and Grassy Tree. Now, currently it is unknown why this specific moon, yes moon, as this is the moon that circles around Birkin, which is a planet that we will dive deeper into in the far future. Anyways, back to the continents. There is Predator Island, Prey Island, and one large continent in the middle of the planet, known as Eagle Isle. Now, in this image, you can clearly tell it has been spelt incorrectly, but this is back when I was a lot worse at spelling. As you can see, majority of this continent is covered in desert and large lakes, though 1/3 is made of ice and the other third is grassy plains. Today, we will be diving deeper into the knowledge of the plants and the first animals that are seeded down onto this planet. So, when we look here, you can clearly tell that there are a fair few plants. Some of them, or at least the most common, being lily pads, fruiting cacti, tall cacti, swamp trees, which do also involve vines, flowering cacti, and seaweed. Not much is known about how these plants got here, except for that they came from a group that like to call themselves the Earthlings, and we'll dive deeper into them as well, much further on in the future. The less important species that have been discovered on this planet that was seeded onto this seed moon are the kangaroo rat and the salmon. Now, these are more just to fill in the ecological niches of fish, small rodents. We have other small insects as well. The crows are chirping because they're not in this world, but they're also in another planet, but again, far future. As you can now see, this is the primary species that we will be diving deep into their evolution, the bald eagle. Now, the special thing about birds, especially on seed worlds, is they can turn into whatever you want, as can any other animal in a seed world. But birds are my favourite to do because you can turn them back into their ancient ancestors, their ancestral form, which is better known as the dinosaurs. Now, in this episode, which is already almost finished, you won't get to see many evolutions. In fact, you'll only get to see one, and only learn about one. So, only a few million years after the Earthlings drop the bald eagle down and revive it, or however it is that they get these bald eagles onto this planet, eventually they start to evolve pretty rapidly. And the first species is called the clawed runner. Now, something you might find out pretty quickly is that almost every species on this planet will in fact be flightless. And that's because almost every species has evolved off of the clawed runner, specifically. There will be some that can fly, but not many. The clawed runner is special because its beak has slightly changed shape, but that's not the really important part. The primary part that I want you all to notice are the 3 large claws on both of its wings. Currently, this species can still fly, but this will not last for much longer in its future evolutionary paths. It is quite a fast runner, clocking in, I'd say, as fast as you see a magpie hop, but instead of hopping, obviously, it runs. These creatures are actually a little bit smaller than the bald eagle, though their actual height and weight hasn't quite yet been calculated. This may be shown in a future short when we dive deeper into the creature's history. Thank you all for listening to the first episode of Dustaria. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I don't know. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.